Dear Brian Zond, I know that your work has done amazing things for so many people, and I am so thankful for that. But do you really think that saying that gay Christians can fully participate in the life of your church, and then at the very next phrase say that you don't perform same-sex weddings, do you really think that's full participation? Hey, I'm Kevin. I like to talk about queer stuff and Jesus, and today I'm going to talk about the drama that went down on Twitter yesterday, / the reason why it's so important for our leaders and our churches to be absolutely clear about their positions on certain things. So it started off with Nathaniel Green, one of my internet friends / real life friends, asking Brian Zahn, hey, I'm just curious, do you affirm LGBTQ plus identities and relationships? And of course, being a white man with a platform and a decent sized church, he did not have to answer that. And so Nathaniel followed it up with the following question. He was like, hey, I'm not asking this out of spite. I would love to know whether your theology includes us. And he merely answered, of course it does. And that's when our queer spidey senses started to tingle, and we were just like, seems suspicious. Get it? Get what I do there? Suspicious, because he's a cis person. It's a good joke, okay? I liked it. And then another person inquired, hey, I'm another queer person who loves your work, but this kind of ambiguity is a little unsettling for me. And he said, I affirm all of my sisters and brothers in Christ without hesitation or a qualification. That doesn't mean anything, because that's just like saying, oh, well, I love everybody. And of course you do. You're a Christian. You're supposed to love everybody. I love everybody. I don't like everybody, but I love everybody. You know what I'm saying? And then another person asked straight up, do you believe homosexuality is a sin? To which Brian said, no, but what constitutes sexual ethics for the gay Christian is, for me, still open to question. Now we're getting somewhere. The rhetoric of saying that you don't believe homosexuality is a sin, but you're still debating the sexual ethics of the gay Christian sounds a lot to me like it's okay to have homosexual feelings. It's okay to be attracted to people of the same sex. It's just not okay to act on them, which is something that a lot of Christians will use to soften the edge of their non-affirming position. And I also don't think it holds water theologically. And I think it's two reasons. One, Jesus elevated the way that we think about things to be on the same level of sin, because Jesus said, if you've even thought about committing adultery, you've already done it in your heart. Along the same logic, if I am somebody who, happens to think about having sex with men, classic, then I would already be guilty of committing a homosexual act in my heart. So that, first of all, logic doesn't hold. Second of all, it reduces sexuality across the board, gay, straight, or otherwise, to simply sexual acts, things that we're doing with our bodies, when sexuality is so much more than that. Sexuality is about how we connect with one another, how we perceive beauty, how we build family, how we build relationships and connections. And yes, it is a part about who we want to stimulate our genitals. But at the same time, it's so much more than that. I mean, can you imagine, just put yourself in my shoes for a second, Brian, if you're listening. Say, for example, I go up to a straight megachurch pastor, cisgender, white, and I say to him, hey, you should, it's fine that you have feelings towards women. It's fine that you have feelings towards your wife. Just don't act on them, because that's gross. That's sin, and sin is disgusting to God. I have had that said to me, don't think about boys, because you thinking about boys is disgusting. So you saying that you can have the feelings but just don't act on them. It's not when you say can you imagine what that feels like for someone like me, for someone with a queer orientation? It's so heartbreaking for you to say, I believe that your feelings are fine, but you can't ever try to form meaningful connections with somebody. You can't ever try to form love with someone. So I'm not here to knock this. I'm not here to knock you for having that position. I'm here just to try to get in your brain, this is what your theology lived out looks like. Now, did Brian Zahn say everything that I just said, that homosexuality was disgusting, that gay sex is disgusting? No, he didn't. However, that is still what queer people are going to hear when you say something like that. Just public service announcement from me. And so the conversation kept going back and forth, and eventually Brian tweeted the following thing. We have gay Christians in our church. Gay Christians participate fully in the life of our church. We don't perform same-sex weddings. I talk about this all day, but only in person, not on Twitter. It's too complex and volatile for this forum. And there it is we don't perform same-sex weddings. That's kind of what people were looking for the entire time. Some form of how does this get played out in the life of your church, in the life of your congregation, in the life of your gay Christians in your congregation. First of all, let's define what full participation is. If you say gay Christians can fully participate in the life of your church, and notice how he's saying gay Christians and not LGBTQ Christians, which is another conversation for another video, I'm sure, but just note that for yourself. If you say that gay Christians can fully participate in the life of your church, and then you say that you don't perform same-sex weddings, that's not full participation. That is saying you are ineligible for this particular sacrament because of your life, because of who you are, because of how you were created to be, because of how you form relationships, because of how you love. You cannot participate in the holy sacrament of marriage. That's not full participation. Full stop. And I also want to point out the fact that I talk about queerness and Christianity all day, every day on Twitter. Honey, it's not volatile. You're just uncomfortable with engaging with a conversation with people who might have differing opinions than you. And guess what? It's the 21st century, and you're gonna have to start saying what you actually think. And you might be thinking, wow, you're being pretty harsh on Brian Zahnd. No, I'm not harsh on Brian Zahnd. I'm harsh on everybody. Because here's the deal. To whom much is given, much is expected. If you have a platform that is encompassing of LGBTQ people and other marginalized identity groups, and you don't believe that who they're created to be is holy, good, and righteous, you should probably tell them. I mean, that just seems genuine to me. Because if you're going to claim to be a pastor for people, you need to be able to pastor them fully and not conditionally. Okay, I'm gonna be really frank with you. I don't care what Brian Zahnd believes. I don't care what you believe. And I frankly don't care what the church or individual churches believe. What I do care about, though, is that you understand why you believe what you do and how your beliefs get translated into action and then therefore affect people like myself and other marginalized identities. And depending on your social location, that can really affect large populations for good or for evil. So do you believe homosexuality is a sin? Dope. You should say that. Do LGBTQ people get to participate fully in the life of your church, or are there restrictions? If there are restrictions, I want to know about them before I invest my time, my money, my relationships, my energy. I don't want to invest in the space just to be told later on that I was never welcome in the first place, or you have to put a new restriction on me because I'm a queer person. Do you know how badly that hurts? And if you're a church or an individual who is trying to figure it out, if you are actively discerning what it looks like for queer people to participate in the life of your church, be honest about it. Just be honest. That's all we're asking. Because if you're actively discerning, that means that we get to journey together. And again, in a way that's consistent with both of our values. Queer people can say, you know what, I don't want to go on a journey with you because I've gone on that journey before and I ended up getting heartbroken. And then there are people like me who are more than willing to sit down with you, go through the passages, go over the exegesis, go over what it looks like practically in the lives of LGBTQ people. There are people out there who want to journey with you, but you can't journey with them unless you're being truthful about it. Honestly, it is past high time that churches and individuals with larger platforms, there's no excuse for you not to be disclosing what you actually believe and what your practices actually are. Because the evidence is overwhelming about how many queer people have been hurt by ambiguous policies in the church. And things like Brian Zahn's tweet is of course we love everybody. It's not good enough. It's not good enough anymore. And we have to start demanding this, both of our churches and of our public figures. Anything less than clarity is lying, in my opinion. And last time I read the Bible, there's a certain place that liars go. My challenge to you, stop lying. Everyone, just stop lying. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. So thanks so much for watching this video. If you liked it, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. And if you think videos like this are important, you can become a sustaining partner through Patreon. Even just as little as $1 or $2 a month makes more queer Christian content possible. And we're gonna be pumping it out, honey. All the links are below. Connect with me on social media. Give this a like, subscribe, thumbs up, all the things. I love you so much. And until next time, go see your therapist, take your meds, eat something delicious, move your body, talk to somebody that you love, go smooch somebody with consent, and go to a church that is very clear about their policies. Ask your pastor, what's your policy? Do you think I'm okay, or am I a sinful homosexual who's going to hell? What do you think? In the comments below, let me know. Am I going to hell? I'm curious to know. Anyways, thanks so much. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.